Hi, I'm Troy from Studio 33 Guitar. Thanks for watching. Today we're looking at how to play TNT by ACDC. This is a classic rock song and it's really easy to play. There's only 3 chords you're going to need to know for this and they're really simple. So if you're a beginner, this is a great one to start with. This is part of our series of ACDC songs and lessons. So if you like this and you like ACDC, then make sure you check out the other lessons in this series. I'll put a link in the description below for the playlist. And as always, you can also download a free PDF chord chart and lyric sheet for this song from my website, studio33guitar.com. If you print that off, it'll make it a little bit easier to follow along. Now, one thing I should point out about this song that's a little bit different is the tuning of this song is a little bit off. It's not quite in tune. So if you're playing along with it and you've tuned up your guitar and you're trying to play along with the original recording, it's not going to sound quite right, and you might wonder why. And that's because the original song is a little bit flat. It's not quite in tune. Now, one alternative you can do is go on YouTube and search for ACDC TNT retuned or standard tuning. And you should be able to find some videos. I found some that are actually corrected and they're brought up to the proper pitch. So if you find that video, you can listen to that and play along with that and your guitar will match. So let's jump right in, zoom in on the neck and have a look at how to play TNT. The intro and verse for TNT sounds like this. So that's going to start with an E power chord. Now that's really simple. That's going to have your index finger on the 2nd fret, here the A string, and then the open E string. You only need those 2 notes. And then you're just going to let your hand lay a little bit flat to mute out those other strings. Now these chords are also part of a lesson that I have that's called the 6 chords of ACDC. You may want to check that out as well. I'll put the link for that in the description too. One of the really important things about this song is, although it's simple with the chords, it does have a very distinct groove. And that groove is really created by the space in between the chords. And that's really important. So after you play that E chord, you're going to mute all the strings on the guitar. And that's going to be done using both of your hands. The main thing is you're going to use your picking hand by resting it against the strings after you play the chord. The other thing you're going to do is, with your fretting hand, is take your other fingers and place them on top of the strings, again, just to stop them all. At the same time, you can also just lightly ease up on that finger that you're pushing that note down on. So together, that's going to look like this. That's an important technique for a lot of ACDC songs, but especially this one, you really need that dead space in between the chords. So after we play that E chord and then mute it, we're going to go to a G note. And we're not going to play a full G chord, we're just going to play this one single note before we lead to the next chord. And we're also going to mute that note after we play it. So that's going to sound like this. So we're muting the same way. We're using both hands to rest against the strings to keep them from ringing out. Then the next chord we're going to play is an A chord, and that's going to look exactly the same as that E chord, but we're just going to move our finger down to the next string. And now we're just going to play the open A string and this 2nd fret on the D string. Together that sounds like this. So far what we have is this. After we play that A chord, we're going to mute that again the same way. And then we're going to go back and forth between that G note and that A chord. That's going to be like this. And that's going to lead us back to the E chord again for the beginning. So the whole thing together sounds like this. So you're going to play that sequence of chords all the way through the intro and the verse, and then that'll lead you to the chorus. Now, right before the chorus starts, the last time you play that chord progression, you're not going to do the back and forth between the G and the A. You're just going to do this. And you're just going to hold that A chord until the chorus starts. Now the chorus uses the exact same chords, but we're actually just going to play them in the reverse order. So we're going to start with the A, go to that G note, and then to the E chord. So that's going to sound like this. So that's exactly when he says TNT, I'm dynamite, and then you play that again, I'm out of sight. So that space in between, you're not playing anything there at all. You can count it out or you can tap your foot, but it's important to have that dead space in between. The very last time that you play that and then he says, watch me explode, on that part you're going to play that same sequence, and then a watch me explode, you're going to actually hit a full G chord and then go to this A chord again. So that's going to be, so for that full G chord, you're going to play it basically like a regular G major chord that you would play like on an acoustic guitar. But for this one, this is going to be that ACDC style G chord. You're going to have just your middle finger on this G note. You're not going to use your index finger on that note where you normally would for a G chord. So you're going to let your middle finger just lay flat on that A string and just keep that from ringing because you don't want that to ring out. And then you're going to let the next couple of strings ring open, and then your ring finger and pinky are going to be on the 3rd fret on these 2 highest strings. So altogether that's like this. Now that's pretty quick. You're just going to hit that chord once, and it's basically the same timing as that single note we were doing earlier, but it just gives you a little bit more of a fuller sound. And that's going to lead you back to the 2nd verse, and that's going to be played the same way that you played the first one. And then again, that leads to the next chorus, which is also played the same way. So like I mentioned, this is a really simple song. It's just those 2 main chords with that G note in between. And again, the most important part is the muting in between those chords. You really want to make sure that you practice that and get good at that, because that's an essential part to this song and a lot of ACDC songs. And if you like this lesson, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. And also check out the playlist down below for more ACDC songs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.